The role of money laundering in food fraud. Last year, I wrote about the thefts of large quantities of luxury foods, which were perpetrated by criminals who posed as buyers from legitimate retail chains and ordered tens of thousands of dollars worth of cheese, smoked salmon, and wine. What happened to that stolen food? No one knows, although it's suspected of having ended up in Russia, where trade embargoes and boycotts have disrupted legitimate supply chains for luxury foods. Thieves steal food to make money, but they may also use stolen food as a way to launder money. Here's how. Money laundering is the process by which criminals disguise illegally obtained money using financial transactions that appear legitimate, resulting in clean money that can be spent without attracting suspicion. The food industry, with its extensive global supply chains, complex trade networks, hard-to-trace goods, and pockets of cash-intensive businesses, provides ample opportunities for money laundering. Many types of food supply chain businesses are used by criminals to launder illicit funds. Luxury restaurants, storage and distribution companies, brokerages, manufacturers, and wholesalers all participate in financial transactions that involve the movement of large sums of money, often across international borders. Money laundering can take the following forms. Over-invoicing or under-invoicing of exports and imports, in which illicit funds are moved across international borders disguised as legitimate trade. Cash purchases. Criminals can pay for supplies for restaurants and retail stores in cash. The revenue from selling these goods to diners or customers appears clean. Shell companies. Complicated business structures and fake suppliers. Money can be moved from company to company, mimicking legitimate trade without goods changing hands. Falsified financial records. The value of stock inventories and incoming or outgoing goods can be falsified to hide the flow of illicit money. Salaries, vehicles, and other employee disbursements can be used to move money in ways that appear legitimate. And as a side note, a network of interlinked companies that were posing as unrelated to each other was used in a large-scale international fraud in organic grain perpetrated in 2016 and 2017. And you can read the deep dive in a past issue of The Rotten Apple. There's a link in the email and the post. Money laundering can result in unfair trading environments for legitimate food businesses who must compete using legally procured supplies paid for at market prices. Operators that launder money using food businesses are thought to be significantly more likely to commit other forms of food fraud, such as relabeling of expired food, which poses a risk to consumers. Perhaps the most concerning aspect of money laundering in food is the cost to governments, which lose much needed tax revenue when money is laundered. Stolen cheese and money laundering are hypothetical. In 2024, criminals who impersonated a buyer from a French supermarket stole £300,000 worth of specialty English cheese. Could that cheese have been used for money laundering? Perhaps yes. Here's how it could work. And just a note, this is purely hypothetical. I've got no inside knowledge of this supply chain or incident, and I make no allegation that such activities occurred. So anyway, this is what it might look like. 1. The cheese is stolen by criminal organisation A. 2. The cheese is shipped across one or more international borders, making it harder to trace the cheese. 3. Organisation A pays the shipping company with money gained from criminal activities, dirty money. 4. Organisation A sells the cheese to Organisation B, which pays with clean money. Organisation A now has clean money. Alternatively, Organisation A sells to Organisation C, another criminal organisation, with links to the first one. Organisation C can buy the cheese from Organisation A with dirty money, perhaps for an inflated price, and then sell the cheese to legitimate merchants. Organisation A has then received the money from C through a legitimate-looking business transaction. It has clean money. And Organisation C receives money from legitimate cheese merchants, and it has clean money. Read about big food thefts of 2024 in Anatomy of a Food Crime in issue 166. And the main source for this article is from Fernando P. 2024, How Money Laundering is Contaminating the Food Industry, from the Sunday Observer, Sri Lanka.